We are at stage 12, paragraph page 1188.
88.
Okay,
Okay.
and our last headword was policy, newer type of lesson.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with our revision. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Okay.
Okay, here we go. First question. Make a sentence containing an adjective with a suffix able. Make a sentence containing an adjective with a suffix able, please. This part of town
This part
is
of town
becoming
is
highly
becoming
desirable.
highly desirable.
He's not
He
particularly
is not
clever,
particularly
but
clever,
he's very
but
likable.
he is very likable.
Very good. Make some sentences containing an adjective with a suffix ible. Make sentences containing an adjective with a suffix ible, please. My mother's
My
chocolate
mother's
cake
chocolate cake
are irresistible.
are irresistible.
The website
The
won't be
website
accessible
won't be
to
accessible
anyone outside
to
the
anyone
university.
outside the university.
Very good. If you were working for a meager salary and knew that people in other companies were performing the same role as you for far more money, would you demand a rise? If you were working for a meager
Okay.
salary and knew that people in other companies were performing the same role as you for far more money, would you make a demand? Would you demand a rise? Yes
Demand
or
a
no?
rise. Yes.
If I were working
If
for
I
a
were
meager
working
salary
for a meager
and knew
salary
that people
and knew
in
that the
other
people
companies
in other
were
companies
performing the
were
same role
performing
as
the
me
same role as
for
me
far more money,
for far more money,
I demand a
I
rise.
demand a rise.
Very good. Why is it advisable for frail elderly people to walk with a stick? Why is it advisable for frail elderly people to walk with a stick? It's
Yeah,
advisable
sorry. It's
for
advisable
frail
for fair
elderly
for
people. One more.
uh,
It's advisable
it's
for
advisable
frail
for
elderly
frail
people
elderly
to walk
people
with a stick
to walk with a
because
stick
they're likely
because
to
they are
hurt
likely
themselves
to hurt
if they
themselves
fall over.
if they fall over.
Very good. Why is it that we sometimes take to a person quickly when we chat with them for the first time? Why is it that we sometimes take to a person quickly when we chat with them for the first time? We sometimes
We
take to
sometimes
a person
take to a
quickly
person
when we
quickly
chat with
when we
them
chat
for the
with them
first time
for the first time
because we
because
discover
we
we have
discover
mutual
we have a
interest,
mutual
a
interest,
similar sense of
a
humor,
similar sense of
etc.
humor, etc.
Very good. Name a field of work in which you think sheer determination and hard work are not enough for a person to succeed. Name a field of work in which you think sheer determination and hard work are not enough for a person to succeed. I think
I think surgeon
is a field of
is
work
a field of work
in which sheer
in
determination
which sheer
and
determinations
hard work
and
are
hard
not
work
enough
are
for
not
a
enough
person to
for a
succeed.
person to succeed.
Very good. So, what else do you think is necessary for success? What else do you think is necessary for success? I think
I think natural talent
is
is
necessary for
necessary
success.
for success.
Very good. Name a species of animal that we often think of as being extremely agile. Name a species of animal that we often think of as being extremely agile. The cat
The
is a
cat
species of
is the
animal
species of
that we
animal
often
that
think
we
of
often
as
think of
being
as
extremely
being
agile.
extremely agile.
Very good. If you were a teacher, would you sooner have a docile class or one that tended to be a bit rowdy? If you were a teacher, would you sooner have a docile class or one that tended to be a bit rowdy? If I were a
If
teacher,
I were a
I'd
teacher,
sooner have
I'd sooner have a docile class
class. Very good. Why? Why? Because.
because the teacher can easily teach them.
Very good. Okay, next. Give me an example of the phrase let alone. Give me an example of the phrase let alone, please. He couldn't run
He
to
couldn't
catch the
run
bus,
to catch a
let
bus,
alone
let
complete a
alone
marathon.
complete a marathon.
Very good. When frogs are on land, do they usually walk or hop? When frogs are on land, do they usually walk or hop? When frogs are
When
on
frogs
land,
are on
they
land,
usually hop.
yet they usually hop.
Very good. What does the verb hop mean when it's used to describe the way a person is moving? What does the verb hop mean when it's used to describe the way a person is moving? When the verb hop
When the verb
is
hop
used to
is used
describe
to
the
describe,
way a person is moving,
sorry, that
or
is
when
to
the verb
describe,
hop, Homer, when
sorry,
the verb hop
when the verb hop
is used to describe
used to describe
the way a person is
the way
moving,
the way a person
is moving,
is moving.
It means to jump
It
on
means
one
to
leg
jump
only.
on one leg only.
Very good. One more. When the
Okay.
verb hop
When the
is
verb
used
hop
to
is used
describe
to
the way
describe
a person
the
is
way a
moving,
person is
it
moving,
means to jump
it means
on
to
one leg
jump
only.
on one leg only.
Very good. Which would you say was it best to inherit? Brains, beauty, or money? Which would you say was it best to inherit? Brains, beauty, or money? I'd say it
I'd
was best
say
to
it
inherit.
was best to inherit brain.
Very good. Okay. In terms of character, who do you take after more, your mother or your father? In terms of character, who do you take after more, your mother or your father? In terms of
In
character,
terms of
I
character,
take after
I
my
take after my mother
more than my father.
more than my father.
Very good. Why is it a good idea for university students to write up any notes they take during a lecture? Why is it a good idea for university students to write up any notes they take during a lecture?
During the lesson.
It's a good
It's
idea
a good
for
idea
university
for
students
university
to
students
write up
to
some
write up
notes
some
they
notes
take
they
during a
take
lecture
during a
because
lecture
it helps them
because it
to
helps them
remember the
to remember
information
the
and
information
gives them a
and gives
tidier
them a
and
tidier
more
and
complete
more
record of
complete
the lecture.
record of the lecture.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're
You
ducking
are
down
ducking
as if
down
you were
as if
trying
you are
to
trying
avoid
to
being hit
avoid
or
being
seen.
hit or seen.
Very good. What are the two meanings of the verb gauge? What are the two meanings of the verb gauge? The two
The
meanings
two
of the
meanings
verb
of the
gauge
verb gauge
are
are
measure precisely
measure
and
precisely
estimate or
and
judge.
estimate or judge.
Very good. Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. We must gauge
We
the
must
width
gauge
of the
the
window.
we
We
must
must
gauge
gauge the width of the
the
window
width of the window
before cutting the
before
glass to
cutting the
fit.
glass to fit.
It's hard to gauge
It's hard to
whether
gauge
he's suitable
whether
for the
he is
job.
suitable for the job.
Very good. Is it the custom in your country for friends to embrace if they haven't seen each other for a while? Is it the custom in your country for friends to embrace if they haven't seen each other for a while? Yes or no?
No,
It isn't the
it
custom
isn't
in
the
my
custom in
country
my
for
country
friends to
for
embrace
friends to
if they
embrace
haven't seen
if they
each
haven't
other for
seen
a
each
while.
other for a while.
Very good. What does the word tug mean? What does the word tug mean? The word
The
tug
word
means
tug
pull
means
hard.
to pull hard.
And what does the word shove mean? What does the word shove mean? The word
The
shove
word
means
shove
push
means
hard.
push hard.
Give me an example of each. Give me an example of each, please. I tugged too hard,
I tug too
and the
hard,
old door
and the
handle
old door
came off
handles
in my hand.
came off in my
She
hand.
shoved me
She
into the
shoved
swimming
me
pool
into the
as
swimming
a joke.
pool as a joke.
Very good. What reason might someone have for dropping out of an academic course? What reason might someone have for dropping out of an academic course? Someone might drop
Someone
out
might
of
drop
an
out of
academic
an
course
academic course
because they find it
because they
boring,
find it
too
boring,
difficult,
too
etc.
difficult, etc.
Right, have you ever been trashed by an opponent when playing sport? Have you ever been trashed by an opponent when playing sport? Yes or no?
No,
I have never
I
been
have
trashed
never been
by an
thrashed
opponent when
by
playing
an
sport.
opponent when playing a sport.
Right? Is it strange to think that school teachers used to be allowed to trash pupils as a punishment? Is it strange to think that school teachers used to be allowed to trash pupils as a punishment? Yes, it's
Yes,
strange to
it's
think
strange to
that
think
school
that
teachers
school
used to
teachers
be allowed
used to be
to
allowed
trash
to
pupils
thrash
as a
pupils
punishment.
as a punishment.
Very good. What do we mean by an assertive person? What do we mean by an assertive person? By an
By
assertive
an
person,
assertive
we
person,
mean
we
someone
mean
who
someone who
communicates their
communicates
feelings
their
clearly
feelings and
and
clearly
firmly
and
in
firmly
order to
and
get
in
what they
order
want,
to get what they
but
want,
without being
but without
aggressive.
being aggressive.
Very good. Name a situation in which it's important to behave assertively. Name a situation in which it's important to behave assertively, please. It's important
It's
to behave
important to
assertively
behave
when
assertively
you're asking
when
for a
you are
pay
asking
rise,
for a pay rise,
demanding a refund,
demanding a refund,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Okay, what are the three forms of the verb cling? What are the three forms of the verb cling? The three
The three
forms of
forms
the
of
verb
the
cling
verb cling
are cling,
are
clang,
cling,
clang.
clang, clang.
Why might a small child cling onto their mother's arm in a crowd? Why might a small child cling onto their mother's arm in a crowd? A small child
A small
might cling
child
on
might
to their
cling on
mother's
to their
arm
mother's
in a
arm
crowd
in a
because
crowd
they're
because
scared
they are
of
scared
getting lost.
of getting lost.
Which other verb is similar in meaning to cling? Which other verb is similar in meaning to cling? Clutch is a verb
Flat is a
that is
verb
similar
that
in
is
meaning to
similar in
cling.
meaning to cling.
Give me a sentence containing the verb clutch. Give me a sentence containing the verb clutch, please. She clutched her
She
bag
clutched her
tightly
bag
as she
tightly
got
as
into
she got
the
into
crowded
the
underground
crowded
train.
underground train.
Very good. Does the earth revolve around the sun or vice versa?
Vice
Does
versa,
the earth
vice
revolve around the
versa,
sun or vice
vice
versa?
versa.
The earth
The earth
revolves around the
revolves
sun.
around the sun.
Very good. Do religious institutions still exert the same influence on government policy in your country as they used to?
As they used to.
Do religious institutions still exert the same influence on government policy in your country as they used to? Yes or no?
No,
Religious institutions
religious
don't exert
institutions don't
the same
exert the
influence
same
on
influence
government
on
policy
government
in my
policy
country as
in
they
my
used
country
to.
as they used to.
Very good. Okay, that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work. Okay, repeat. Dismay.
Dismay,
Setback.
setback,
Get over.
get over,
Very good. Okay, listen. Dismay means to cause someone to feel very worried, disappointed, or
worried,
upset.
disappointed, or upset.
Dismayed is the adjective of dismay. For example, I was very dismayed to learn that my friend was
That
so
my friend
ill.
was so ill.
Setback means a problem that makes
Problem that
progress more
makes
difficult
progress
or
more
success
difficult
less
or
likely.
success less
For
likely.
example, despite some early setbacks, they eventually became a successful
Become a
company.
successful company.
Get over is a phrasal verb. It means to stop being
Stop
controlled or
being
bothered by
controlled
something,
or
such as a
thing,
problem or
such a
feeling.
problem or
For
feeling.
example, when I feel dismayed because of a setback in my life, I tend to get over it
Get
quickly.
over it quickly.
Let's practice. When you feel dismayed because of a setback in your life, do you tend to get over it quickly or does it take you a while to bounce back?
Yes,
When you feel dismayed because of a setback in your life, do
your
you
life.
tend to get over it quickly or does it take you a while to bounce back? When I feel dismayed
When I
because
feel
of a
dismayed because
setback in
of
my
a
life,
setback in my life, I
I
tend to be get back.
I tend to get back I tend to get
I tend to get over
over it
it.
quickly.
I tend to get over it quickly.
Very good. One more.
Okay.
When I feel dismayed
When I feel
because
dismayed
of a setback
because
in
of a
my life,
setback in my life,
I tend to get
I
over it
tend to get
quickly.
over it. I tend to get over it quickly. Okay.
Very good. Next repeat. Carefree.
Carefully.
Very good. Okay, listen. Carefree is an adjective which means having no worries or problems. For example, I would describe myself as having a fairly carefree
Very
attitude
carefully.
to life.
Right.
Let's practice. Would you describe yourself as having a fairly carefree attitude to life? Would you describe yourself as having a fairly carefree attitude to life? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't describe
I wouldn't
myself
describe
as
myself
having a fairly
as
carefree
having a fairly carefree
attitude to life.
attitude to life.
Very good. Next, repeat staircase,
Staircase.
flight of stairs.
Right, flight of stairs.
Very good. Okay, listen. Staircase is a noun which is singular in form.
Singular
It means
form.
a set of stairs
Set
inside
of
a
stairs
building
inside
with
a
its
building
supports
with
and
its
the
support
side parts that you
side
hold
part
on.
you float on.
For example, there are 20 floors in this building, so most likely there are 20 staircases in this building.
Okay.
Flight of stairs is the plural in form. It
Plural
means
in
set of
form.
stairs.
Set
For
of
example,
stairs.
we walk up 4 flights of stairs.
Four flight of
Let's
stairs.
practice. How many staircases are there in your building? How many staircases are there in your building? There,
There are two staircases.
there are 2 staircases
There are two
in
staircases
my
in my
building.
building.
Very good. And how many flights of stairs are there? How many flights of stairs are there? There are
There are four
four
flights
flights
of
of
stairs.
stairs. Very good. Okay, next repeat. Culprit,
Culprit.
convict,
Conflict. A
get off,
convict.
get off.
Get off.
Remorse.
Remorse.
Very good. Okay, listen. Culprit means a person who has committed a crime or done something wrong. For
long.
example, the police eventually located the
Eventually
culprits who
located
have been found guilty
who
of
have been
violent
found guilty of
crimes.
crime.
Convict is a verb. It means to prove that someone is guilty
Estimated
of a
guilty
crime in a court of
of
law.
crime. Court
For
law.
example, he was convicted for killing two men in his neighborhood. Get off is a phrasal verb. It means to be given or to help someone to be
To help
given
someone to
only a
be
slight
given
punishment for a
as a
crime.
punishment
For
crime.
example, some lawyers tried to get criminals off with a light sentence.
Right.
Remorse is a feeling of being sorry for
Feeling
doing
being
something
sorry
bad
for doing
or
something
wrong
bad
in the past.
wrong
A
in the
feeling of
past.
guilt.
Feeling of
For
guilt.
example, when the culprit of a crime is convicted, the person is
Convicted.
likely to get
Person
off
is
more
likely to
likely
get
if
off
they've
more
shown
likely
genuine
if they've shown
remorse
any
during their
genuine remorse
trial.
during the trial.
Let's practice. When the culprit of a crime is convicted, is the person
This
likely to
person
get off
likely to
more
get off
likely if they've
more likely
shown
if they've
genuine
shown
remorse during
genuine
their
remorse
trial?
during the trial.
When the culprit of a crime is convicted, is the
Convicted.
person likely to
The
get
person
off
likely.
more lightly if they've shown genuine remorse during their trial? Yes. If the
Yes,
culprit of a
if the
crime
culprit of a
is
crime
convicted,
is
the
convicted,
person is
the
less
person is
likely
less
to get
likely
off
to
more
get off
lightly
more likely
if they're shown
if they are shown
genuine remorse
genuine
during their
remorse
trial.
during their trial
Very good. Next bit, entrust.
and trust.
Very good. Okay, listen. Entrust means to give someone the responsibility of doing something
Something.
or of caring for someone or something. For example, I have entrusted a complete stranger with looking after my belongings while I visited the
While I
toilet in the
visited the
coffee
toilet
shop.
in the coffee shop.
Let's practice. Have you ever entrusted a complete stranger with looking after your belongings
After your
while you
belongings,
visited the
while
toilet
you
in a
visited the
coffee shop
toilet in
or
a
on a
coffee
train?
shop or on a
Have
train.
you ever entrusted a complete stranger with looking after your belongings while you visited the toilet in a coffee shop
Toilet in a
or in a
coffee shop
train?
or in a
Yes or
train.
no?
No,
I haven't
I
entrusted
haven't
a complete
entrusted a
stranger
complete
with
strangers
looking
with
after my
looking after
belongings
my
while I
belongings
visited the
while I
toilet
visited
in
the
a coffee
toilet
shop
in a
or
coffee
on a
shop
train.
or on a train.
Very good. Next, a bit hardship.
Hardship
Very good. Okay, listen. Hardship means pain and suffering.
and
For
suffering.
example, I think the greatest hardship one could
Hardship
suffer
one
is
could
to be
suffer
in
is
severe
to be
pain for
in
a long
severe
time.
pain for a long time.
Let's practice. What's the greatest hardship you've ever had to suffer? What's the greatest hardship you've ever had to suffer? The greatest
The
hardship
greatest
I've ever
hardship
had to
I've ever
suffer
had to
is,
suffer is the greatest hardship is
like sacrifice, hardship.
wait a moment, sacrifice
Right.
is being attacked by the small motorbike.
Being attacked by a small motorbike. What do you mean attacked by a small motorbike?
Hit,
Ah, you've been hit.
being hit.
Being hit
Mm,
by a small motorbike. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay, next repeat. Jolt.
jolt,
Very good. Okay, again. Jolt means to shake, knock, or
shake,
bump. So shake, knock, or
shake,
bump. For
knock or
example,
bump.
I'm pretending that someone's jolting my
Someone's
elbow while I'm
jolting my
writing.
elbow while I'm
So it's
writing.
shaking. Okay, let's practice.
It's
What am
shaking
I pretending that someone's doing to me whilst I'm
to
writing?
me while I'm
What am I
writing.
pretending that someone's doing to me while I'm writing? You're pretending
You're
that
pretending
someone's
that
jolting your
someone's
elbow
jolting your
whilst
elbow
you are writing.
whilst you are writing.
Very good. What therefore does the word jolt mean? What therefore does the word jolt mean? The verb jolt
The verb
means to
jolt
shake,
means to
knock,
shake,
or bump.
knock or bump,
Very good. Next, a bit stroll.
stroll.
Very good. Okay, listen. Stroll means to walk in a relaxed and unhurried manner. For example, I sometimes go for a stroll in a
Go
nearby
for a
park.
stroll in a nearby park.
Let's practice. What does the verb stroll mean? What does the verb stroll mean? The verb stroll
The verb
means
stroll
to walk
means
in a
to walk
relaxed and
in a relaxed
unhurried
and
manner.
in a
Unhurried manner. Not in a hurry. Unhurried manner.
okay, unhurried manner.
Wait, one more. The verb stroll
The verb
means
stroll
to
means
walk in a
to walk
relaxed
in a
and
relaxed
unhurried
and
manner.
unhurried manner.
Do you ever go for a stroll in a nearby park? Do you ever go for a stroll in a nearby park? Yes or no?
Yes,
I sometimes
I
go for a
sometimes
stroll
go
in a nearby park.
for.
For a
I
stroll,
sometimes So I
Or
sometimes go for a stroll
in a nearby park.
in a nearby park.
Very good. Next,
Okay.
repeat side effect.
Side effect.
Widespread.
Widespread.
Very good. Okay, listen. Side effect means an often harmful and unwanted effect
Harmful
of a
and
drug
wanted
or
effect of
chemical
drug or
that
chemical.
occurs along with the
Drug
desired effects.
side
For
effect.
example, a feeling to vomit and diarrhea are the side effects of some medicines.
Medicine.
Widespread means common over a wide area or among
Wide
many
area
people.
among
For example,
people.
most medicines in widespread use have
Widespread
unpleasant
use
side
have
effects
an
on some
unpleasant
people.
side effect on some people.
Let's practice. The most medicine is in widespread use have unpleasant side effects
Have
on
a
some
unpleasant
people.
side effect.
Do most medicine on widespread use have unpleasant side effects on most people? Yes. Most
Yes,
medicines
most
in
medicine
widespread
in
use
widespread
have
use
unpleasant side
have an
effects
unpleasant side
on
effect
some people.
on some people.
Very good. Okay. Next, let's have writing a review.
Writing a review. Okay.
Okay. Writing a review. Okay. Repeat. Overview.
Overview.
Assessment.
Assessment.
Verdict.
Verdict.
Very good. Okay. Listen. Some key informations in writing a review.
In writing a
Uh,
review.
it's a type of article.
Type of
So a
article.
review is a type of article in newspapers,
Article
in
in
magazines,
newspapers,
on
in
websites,
magazines,
etc.
websites,
that
etc.
tells the reader about a place,
Read about
event,
a place,
book,
event,
film, or other
book,
product,
film, or
and
other
it gives
products.
the writer's own
And
opinion
give
as
the
well.
writer as well.
The purpose of a review is to help reader decide if they want to buy the
They
product,
want to buy the
watch a
product,
film,
film,
etc.
etc.
The three main parts of a review is the first one is an overview,
An
next an
overview,
assessment, and a verdict.
assessment, and a
The
verdict.
overview gives basic factual
Gives
information
basic
about the
factual
product,
information about
event,
the product,
etc.
event, etc.
Assessment gives more detail,
More detail.
give own opinion, positive and negative
On
aspect
positive
of
and
the
negative
product.
aspect of the product.
And lastly, number three, verdict
Lastly, number
gives
three,
overall
verdict
conclusion
gives overall
and
conclusion
recommendations regarding who the product,
regarding who the
event,
product,
etc. might be
event,
suitable
etc.
for.
might be suitable for.
Okay, next, repeat standout,
Standard,
blend,
blend,
portion,
portion,
enthusiastic.
enthusiastic.
Very good. Okay, listen. Standout is a phrasal verb. It means to be
Physical,
highly noticeable than
highly
others,
noticeable than
usually
others.
because it's better or
Usually
different.
the better or
For
different.
example, there are several new places to eat in London Bridge
East
area,
London Bridge
but
area.
porthole certainly stand out from the
Certain
rest.
standard for the rest.
Blend is a noun. It is a
Brand is
combination
a
of two or more
combination of
things.
two or more things.
For example, porthole serves a blend of European and
Blend of
Asian
European
cuisine.
tea.
Portion is a noun. It
Portion is
is
now
an amount of food served in
amount
a
of food
restaurant.
was served in a
For
restaurant.
example, the food was expensive, but we
Expansion.
but we were happy about the
We were
generous
happy about
portion
the generous
served.
portion.
We were so
Sir,
full.
we are so full.
Enthusiastic is an adjective. It
Enthusiastic
means
adjective.
having or showing joy
Having
or
or showing
interest.
joy
For
or interest.
example, the staff were friendly and enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic.
Okay, let's practice. In reference to writing, what do we mean by a review? In reference to writing, what do we mean by a
Writing
review?
review.
By a review,
I-
we
By a
mean a
review, we
piece of
mean
writing
a piece of
that
writing
tells the reader
that tells
about
the
a book,
reader about a
film,
book,
event,
film,
or other
event,
product,
or other
and also
product,
gives the
and also
writer's
give the
opinions
writer's opinion
on it.
on it.
Very good. What do we normally find? Where do we normally find reviews? Where do we normally find
Normally
reviews?
find reviews.
We normally
We
find
normally find
reviews in
reviews
newspaper,
in
in
newspaper,
magazines,
in
on
magazines,
website,
or
etc.
on website, etc.
Right? What's the purpose of a review? What's the purpose of a review? The
The
purpose of a
purpose
review
of a
is to
review
help the
is
reader
to help the
decide
reader
if
decide
they want to buy
if
the
they want
product,
to buy the
watch
product,
the film,
watch a
etc.
film, etc.
What three parts can we normally expect an overview to contain? What three parts can we normally expect a review to contain? We can normally
We
expect
can
a
normally
review
expect
to
the review
contain an
to
overview,
contain an
an
overview,
assessment,
an
and a verdict.
assessment, and a verdict.
What's the purpose of the overview? What's the purpose of the overview? The purpose
The
of the
purpose of
overview
the
is
overview
to give
is to
basic
give
factual
basic
information
factual
about the
information
product,
about the
event,
product,
etc.
event, etc.
What does the assessment tells us? What does the assessment tell us? The assessment
The
tells
assessment
us the
tells us
writer's
the
opinions
writer's opinion
regarding the positive
regarding the
and
positive
negative aspect
and
of the
negative
product,
aspect of the
event,
product,
etc.
event, etc.
What does the verdict do? What does the verdict do? The verdict
The
gives the
verdict
writer's
gives the
overall
writer's
conclusion
overall
and
conclusion
recommendations
and
regarding
recommendation
who the
regarding
product or
who the
event
product
might
or
be
event
suitable
might
for.
be suitable for.
We stop
Okay,
there for
thank
today.
you. Thank
Very
you.
good. See you again.